All right, welcome to 1FG Archives here on YouTube. This is Just Chatting Volume 16, and we're going to be looking at the Retro Gaming League. This is my personal preview show for Season 9. Let's get started. All right, before we get started, just to let you know, just a reminder that I am the previous season champion, Season 8. So that means going into Season 9, that one of the games out of the main season of the I'm going to be listing here, or going to be going over today, rather, I will be able to swap one of those games during the main season to push that game to the playoffs, or the quarterfinals of the playoffs, and then swap it with whatever game I decide to. I still haven't quite made that decision yet, what I'm going to be doing or when I'm going to be using my game swap. It's kind of just see how things are going, maybe, and then we're going to kind of go from there. But anyway, so that's just one of the perks of actually being the previous season champion, is that I'm actually going to be able to do that. So um, but also just there's going to be 12 pages competing this season. It's a total of 17 weeks before we get to the playoffs, and week 9 and 17 we will be doing everybody versus everybody, and then the other 15 or so weeks that we have, we're going to be facing off against one particular page in general. We will be probably overlapping some pages where we have to play against each other, but that's okay. But anyway, so let's go ahead and jump into some of these games. And basically the premise of like each week, how we go about deciding, it's so there's myself, there's the Baked Baker, there's Uber Famicom, and the commission himself, Classic and Current Gaming, who runs the show. We all collaborate together on this list of games, voted on every single one of them, and basically we had the commission did a live recording or live show of which order we're going to be doing the games, as well as who we're playing against what week, and what our seed is, according to how what they call the duck races, where he basically has little duckies that basically run across a water stream for about 30 seconds, and whatever thing comes on top, that's how the list, and then you just eliminate that one until all of them are gone. That's what determined rather, the order of the seeds, as well as the order of the games that we'll be playing for this season. So, all as I said earlier, all these games were decided by all four of us. We all voted on them. We put them in a pool essentially, and whatever ones got the highest votes were the ones that we're including for this season. So let's get started off. So week 1, we are playing Strider 2 on the PlayStation 1. I've actually I did a first impressions of this over on Twitch several weeks ago. I actually had a really lot of fun with this thing. I'm looking forward to actually playing it in competition. It's very straightforward, just like it's very short though too. It's like about 25-30 minutes, maybe about at most I would say 45 if you really push, depending upon how well you play the game and all that. But there's only 5 stages in it. Each one can be beaten in roughly about 6-7 minutes on average. But I mean, again, it's very straightforward. There's just a bunch of hack and slash with little tidbits, like you have your boost, which can allows you to shoot little things out of your cipher and all that stuff. If you're familiar with the original Strider, it's actually a really fun. It's a very good sequel to the actual game. It was an arcade release. They re-released, and they did release it on the PlayStation 1. I wish it had gone to other consoles, but nonetheless, that's what's going to be we're going to be playing on week 1. Week 2, Bonk's Adventure on the TurboGrafx 16. I've also done a little bit of first impressions on this one as well. Very fun little game. I think it's going to be an easy pick me up for most of the pages on this in the competition. It's very, as I said, it's very easy to pick up. The side scrolling little platforming, a little bit of wall climbing with Bonk's little teeth and stuff like that. It's really funny how it works. I never thought I was actually going to be thinking that I would be playing this game myself. In a competition, but it actually is a lot of fun to play. I really look forward to actually playing it again and actually being able to complete it, perhaps. Um, And what one thing before I move on to the third week's game, just note that all the rules are decided by the judges and the commission the weekend before. So when we make the announcement of the actual list, or the list of all the rules of each week, they are posted so everybody gets to read them. And then you basically have, how it works is, then you have a whole week to kind of practice, and then you can do your run at any time. It's up to you when you want to do your run for your week, for that week. um, and then just kind of just, you get wait till the next week comes up and all that stuff. um, and that's just how it works. As I said, you can do your run at any point. You could do it as soon as the timer start, or the day starts, or you can wait till Sunday, the last minute, but to try to get your run in, as long as to get as much practice in before you do it. But for for me, mostly I always do mine on the Sunday, at least several hours before, and actually the deadline and everything. But anyway, so moving on to week three, we are doing Samurai Showdown on the Neo Geo. I personally, not one of my personal favorite fighting games. I've never actually been able to figure it out, in terms of like the how the game works and everything, the mechanics of it. I always just completely suck at it, but this is gonna be a little bit of a challenge for me. But I am looking forward to it. Maybe familiarize myself with it a little bit more, just because I want to. Actually, it is a game that I've always wanted to. I actually have a copy of this on the 3DO, which I've never really picked it up yet to this day. But it is a fighting game series that I've been interested in for a while, and I think it's going to be interesting that week. I think I actually play against one of the judges that week. I think I play against Uber Famicom that week. Um, it's gonna be pretty interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I said, I'm not very familiar with it, and not really good at it, but we're gonna give it our best. Hopefully we'll have a lot of fun with it. It is kind of a little bit of a slower fighting game, like kind of like Mace: The Dark Age was last season. It's more of a kind of a defensive, not necessarily offense. Moves don't drain as much as as you would think. At least from my personal experience, you could do special moves and they only take off little things like this. But if you get really hit like with a deep, fierce move, it can take off like chunks like this. So it just depends. It's gonna take some me for getting used to it, and figuring things out. So that would be week three is Samurai Showdown. Now week four is Super Smash Bros. Melee on the Nintendo GameCube. Personally, one of my favorite, probably my favorite, Smash Brothers game ever. Um, just because it had a really great balance of characters. The music was the best. The overall controls were very smooth. Not to say that there wasn't in like Ultimate or on the Wii or anything like that. It's just I feel that this was the best version of the game in terms of everything. Just the looks, the sounds, the just everything about it. I'm really looking forward to it. I think that is the week I am playing Captain Tendo, which is a good friend of mine. It's going to be a blast. I can't wait to play it. Next up, week five is Operation C on the Game Boy. Another great game. Contra is always a very fun franchise or series to play. Um, Very familiar with the series, the early bird ones. I didn't really care for like the Contra, the Alien Wars so much, but like Contra, Super C, Operation C, those ones are very easy to pick up. Looking forward to playing this one very much. Moving on to week six, we've got another great game, Sonic CD on the Sega CD. We This is one of the games that we chose to bring from season 8 that we didn't use and bring it into this season because it just had such a great impact that everyone was kind of saying they were kind of bummed that they didn't that we talked to they were kind of bummed that they didn't get to play it in season 8. So you know what, we just said let's just bring it in. That was a decision by the judges, and we did actually pretty much when we did the voting, this thing got 4 votes easily. It was one of the few games that got 4 votes. So we just said, you know what, let's bring it back. Let's bring it in rather. So love the game very much myself. Is my number 8 game of all time. It is so much fun. Can't wait to start doing a little bit of speed running for it, and actually having to skip the Chaos Emeralds because I'm not familiar with doing that part. I was like, or not the Chaos Emeralds, the Time Stones, pardon. But definitely a lot of fun. Looking forward to that one very much. The next week we have is Star Fox 64. Never played that one before, always have wanted to, so now I'm being forced to actually play it. I've enjoyed the original Star Fox, I enjoyed Star Fox Adventures on the GameCube, and I've also enjoyed Star Fox 2, the unreleased one that when Nintendo put it on the Nintendo's SNES Mini. And I played that a few times, and I thought it was really well done. I wish they would have actually done a physical release on it, but it's okay. We were able to enjoy it, and but for this one, I even though I owned an N64, this was not one of the games that I ever purchased. I do have a copy now, and I will be playing it for the league. So I'm just something I'm kind of looking forward to. A lot of people were telling me that it was kind of easy, but we'll be the judge of that when we finally get to play it. Next week up is week 8. We got Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time on the Game Boy Advance. From my understanding, that's going to be a very underrated game. It's kind of one of those little sleeper games that they've done multiple sequels for the original Prince of Persia, and I was watching a couple videos of it and everything. It actually looks like a really good platformer. I'm really looking forward to it. Not much else I can really say there. I mean, the music was pretty spot on from what I saw or listened to. It looked pretty easy to pick up there, except for maybe a little bit of technical stuff. Like looks like you have some time like backtracking that you can do in it, or slow it down, or something along those lines from what I can see. And you have like a meter, like it kind of like with God of War 2, or yeah, God of War 2, how you can kind of slow down time to make sure you can get stuff done before something happens. It kind of like somewhat kind of like that. But anyway, so looking forward to that one as well. Week 9, this is the one that we have for Against Everybody, and that's Jim Power, The Lost Dimension. This game's gonna suck. I'm not gonna. I love it. I love it very much because it's a very challenging game, but it's like one hit and you're dead, type of thing. But I've played this a little bit on the side, just to try to give myself a chance, to get used to it. It is really tough, and it's gonna suck for week 9. But as I said before, I love the challenge. I love to be able to figure this thing out. I think there's like 8 stages or something, and I've only gotten to like stage 2 or 3 so far. And the several plays that I've done, all it is just pretty much as any other platformer, is just memorizing the patterns, where to jump, where to go, and all that stuff. It's just, you know, we'll get used to it. I'm pretty sure at some point, but after enough practice, maybe we'll see. So after that, we got week 10, which is Kid Niki on the NES. I have to say, I've heard the game, but I've never really looked into it. It looks like it's kind of like a kung fu type of game, a little bit, but with platforming. So it should be interesting. I always kind of sucked at kung fu, but I'd be willing to I'm gonna give anything a try. I'll probably lose badly that week, but it looked pretty simple, easy to pick up. So most NES games, I'd say for the most part, they should be easy. With the controls, it's just figuring out what the buttons do, what you can and what you can't do, just like anything else. But so basically, kung fu with platforming. What can go wrong, right? So next week up, we got week 11 is Mega Man 8 on the Sega Saturn. We're not doing the PlayStation 1 version. We're trying to implement more. One of the things we've been trying to do for like the past couple seasons is we're trying to get more different consoles into the mix. We could easily do the PlayStation 1 version, or we could do the Sega Saturn version, and we chose to go with the Sega Saturn version to give the Saturn a little bit of love this season. I've done a live stream of Mega Man 8 myself, and I was able to get through it, but it wasn't the best, obviously, my best playthrough, but I think this game is tough. It's not the easiest one in the world of the Mega Man games, of all the general series. But it is enjoyable. I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy how you can collect the little bolts and get power ups and stuff like that. The shop and everything. And I think it's a well put together little game. And I'm looking forward to actually playing it in competition. And then week 12 Next up, week 12, we got Splatterhouse on the TurboGrafx 16. I have streamed this game along with when I did the showcase for TurboGrafx 16, as well as I've done a first impressions video on it as well. Really, really good arcade port. Probably the best one that, from all things considered, how old this game was. For a home console, with the exception of the fact that they made his mask all red instead of white, whatever. I just got to put that aside. Overall, this game is really well done. Really, and it's not that long, but it is really tough. It is extremely tough. You do have limited continues on it in this version, so it should be pretty interesting. I'm actually another game I'm really looking forward to playing in competition. Next up in week 13 is Gimmick. It's a Famicom game, and I was gonna try to get a. I was thinking I was gonna get a physical copy of it. No, I will be emulating the game this week, because if I want a physical copy, even a Famicom copy runs around $500. I'm sorry, that's not gonna happen. Most of the Japanese games will get you a little bit, at most, depending upon the game, you're looking like $70, $90. With even like Mario Brothers, you can get for like $5. Mario 3 for like $8 to $10. It's not really expensive now to get these Japanese games at all. But yeah, this for some reason is extremely expensive, so I will be emulating that week. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Kirby's Adventure, but not quite that way. It's like, instead of basically sucking in your opponent and then taking their ability, you have these little stars that you gather strength and you throw them. It's kind of like your own little projectiles and stuff, and it makes it really interesting. I think it looks cute. It looks like it's a lot of fun to play, and I'm actually looking really forward to it, because it is kind of cute, just like Kirby was. Next up in week 14, we have Salamander on this Famicom. Probably my favorite. Life Force, Salamander on the NES, Famicom. Those things are one of my top 15 games of all time. I think it was number 12, if I remember correctly. Life Force was. The only difference between Salamander and Life Force is in Salamander you can get 3 options, and in Life Force you're only allowed to get 2. So it kind of makes it a little bit easier if you're able to get to that far. If you're able to, without dying, you're able to keep all of your options and stuff like that. Fantastic shoot 'em up. Really looking forward to playing this in the main season. Um, I just I can't say enough about it. It's what I said. It's such a great shoot 'em up, and it's a great franchise, the greatest franchise, type of thing. It, Getting those little power ups and then choosing what you want to get in what order: speed, missiles, laser, get your options, or a force field. It's very important. To which sometimes what order you get your weapons. But again, gonna be a great week that week, I think. Not everybody's great at shoot 'em ups, but shoot 'em ups I'm not the greatest either. But it's gonna be a lot of fun though, I think. And speaking of shoot 'em ups, next week in week 15 we've got Blazing Lasers on this TurboGrafx 16. Another fun shoot 'em up. I've never finished it myself. I've played it a few times, even though I suck at it, I still have a lot of fun playing it, because it's basically like a top-down view of how you can actually, you're shooting things that are in front of you, but there's some things that are like on the ground, and you can bomb those things as you're passing them through and everything. And it actually is a lot of fun to try to get as many points as possible, get your extensions, your level, your one-ups and all that and everything, get your guns powered up. It's a little bit different on how you power up your weapons in this one, but it's very easy to pick up, and it's very easy to play. It's just pretty straightforward, but you do have to watch out what's below you, versus not just paying attention to what's coming on the screen in front of you and all that. You also have to kind of look at the graphics below you, and it just makes it that much more fun, I think. But again, shoot 'em ups are not for everybody. I said I know I'm not the greatest at this game either. I said I've never finished it, so we'll see how it goes. Week 16, Metroid Prime. We announced this at the end of last season, that this was going to be one of the games we were playing in the main season of Season 9. What can I say about this game? It was definitely on my top 25 games of all time. For a first-person shooter to make that list, yeah, that has to say a lot, because I'm not a first-person shooter type of game type of person. I really enjoy my platforming. I love my You know, those kind of things. But first person shooters, nope, not at all. So for me to put a game on my list, and the fact that it is Metroid, you know, I think it's really interesting that how how great they were able to make this game. Nintendo really, and I think it did get Game of the Year in 2002, so and it really was well deserved. That's all I can say about it. I'm really looking forward to seeing how far I can get in the game in the amount of time that we're limited to, and yeah, we'll kind of take it from there and see how well it goes. So, fantastic game for the season that we decided at the end of last season to basically say, hey, we are doing this. It was also kind of basically saying, hey, we're going to be adding GameCube games, so make sure that if you're going to emulate this, that you know that it does work. Which is why we gave the whole list of these beforehand. We just didn't know the order of them, so that people, if they're going to emulate them, we want to make sure that you guys that who are going to be participating, all the pages participating, is that they are going to be able to have no issues. And if they do, we have our support, you know, to say, hey, this is what you got to do, this is how you can get it to work, and all that stuff. So, and then finally, week 17, we have Kirby Superstar on the Super Nintendo. Another great Kirby game. I haven't really played it myself. I've only really played Kirby's Adventure and like Kirby and the Lost. What was it? The one that was for the Wii. Kirby's Epic Yarn was another one. The Forgotten Island. I think I played that for a little bit. It was very simple. The one on the Wii, I think, was the other one that I got as well, and that one is a lot of fun. So I imagine this thing's going to be just kind of more of the same. It's just going to try to be able to speed rush through it, and just do the best you can, you know, and just finish it off as quickly as possible. Because Kirby's cute. Kirby gets really awesome abilities, and that's what I'm looking forward to on that one. So that's the main season. So just remember, though, one of those games is going to be pushed to the quarterfinals. That is my choice. So one of those 17 games is not going to be played in the main season. It'll be replaced by my choice of game, and then we'll be playing that as the quarterfinals game. So the playoffs, we already have the last two games that are the other two games that'll be in the semis and the finals, which we haven't determined yet because until we get there. But the first game, as I said, will be the game that I choose to swap out from the main season over to the playoffs, for the quarterfinals. So after that, we have either Journey to Silius, which is an NES game, which is kind of based off the original Terminator um, movie franchise. Basically, almost had the same premise, which they didn't get the rights in order to actually make it that way, so they had to kind of change things around to it. Platformer, run and gun, very easy to pick up. The thing that I really liked about this game the most is the music. And it's put out by Sunsoft, so you know, obviously with Sunsoft, you're going to have some really good music, some really good sound effects, a really what's the word I'm looking for? Very straightforward type of game, nothing really too difficult. I haven't actually beaten it myself yet. There's only 5 stages. I have made it to the final level, but only had like 2 lives left when I made it there, and yeah, I haven't played it since, but I am looking forward to actually hopefully making it to the semis or the final, where I will be able to play that game. It's, I said, it's a really well done game. It's very short. As I said, it's only has 5 stages, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And then the other game that's in the playoffs that will be either the semifinals or the finals is Wario Land on the Virtual Boy. I have actually been wanting to stream this game for a while now because I have it on my RetroPie. It runs very efficiently. My only dilemma that I have with it is that the stupid little like low battery icon keeps flashing on the screen, and nothing I can do about it. It's just the way that it is, or the way that I'm emulating it off of my RetroPie. So not much I'm going to be able to do with that. But if I do make it to the semis or the finals, whenever the game is going to be played, this is going to be awesome because I can't wait to actually play the game and give it my best. Because it is actually, I have actually played the game a little bit, and it is super fun to play. I absolutely love it. And I wish the Virtual Boy would actually get a little bit more love than it actually did. There are a few great games, and even there were some prototype games that I have on my RetroPie, including a Street Fighter 2 demo, so to speak, that was never actually released. There was never there was a Mario Kart that's on there that was never released. So it's really cool but like the Mario Tennis was supposed to be one of the best games on that console. Wario Land was supposed to be one of the best games on the console. They only released like 40 games for it. Um, but I'm really looking forward to this, being able to play Wario Land for the Virtual Boy. So all of this starts on September 15th for week 1 with Strider 1 or Strider 2 rather. And then we just continuously we get 1 week off for the Thanksgiving week, and then we get 2 weeks off for Christmas for the breaks essentially. And then after that, any other week, we are just proceeding week by week in what games we're playing. And then whoever gets the top 8 in the main season will play in the main playoffs, and then there's a consolation bracket for the last 4 of the league for the season. So regardless, everybody's going to be playing pretty much every single game out there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. We got 1 more week out, well, from this current time, because it's September 7th at the moment. So 1 week from tomorrow, we will be beginning the whole thing. All the rules for Strider 1 will be posted next weekend. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a long season. Hopefully we can win back to back, but with all the pages that are out there that have actually done runs for speedrun.com, it's going to be tough. So I have some really good competition this season. Really looking forward to it. All the friendly banter and all that goodness, and how much fun we have with these games, or whether we enjoy them or not. It's like, oh, this game sucks, I can't do anything on it. You know what? I'm not great at every game either. I mean, what can I say? I'm looking forward to how much fun this whole season's gonna be. How long, even though it's a long like stretch of 17 weeks plus. Well, it's 20 technically. It's gonna be great. Just like last season and the season, all 3 seasons. This is actually my 4th season that I've been competing in it, and every season I've done has been a blast. I would strongly urge anybody. We also have a summer league game that we always do every season during the summer, which lasts about 8 to 10 weeks, and from that, then we give about 2 months breaks, and then 2 months of a break, and then we start the main season with all of it. So anyway, but that pretty much got to wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoyed the little preview show of Season 9 of the Retro Gaming League. Just a reminder that you can check me out at facebook.com/OneForsakenGaming, twitch.tv/OneForsakenGaming, Instagram, and of course right here at 1FG Archives on YouTube. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.